Welcome friends. In my last classes I discussed about the properties, preparations, basically the preparation of acids. Today I am going to discuss about the properties of acids. So properties generally classified as two groups, physical properties and chemical properties. So, physical properties of acid, physical properties of acids. First point number one, the acids are sour to taste. All acids are sour to taste. However, it is very much dangerous to test the strong acids like sulfuric, hydrochloric, etc. Generally, we test the weak acid like citric acid. So, generally, the acids are sour to taste. Acids are sour to taste. Second one, strong acids like sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid. Strong acids are corrosive in nature. Corrosive, C-R-R-O-S-I-V-E, corrosive in nature. Strong acids, for example, hydrochloric, sulfuric, nitric, etc. Weak acid like citric acid, formic acid, tartaric acids are not harmful. They are generally harmless. Easy to test them. They are not corrosive at all. So strong acid, basically the mineral acids are corrosive in nature. When if someone consume them, it may be fatal or dangerous. And if corrosive acids are touched by hand, it may damage your skin. So these are the physical properties of acids. Such as sour to taste, they are corrosive in nature. Weak acids are less harmful. That is, they are not corrosive at all. Now, the chemical properties of acids. Chemical properties means how do they react with metals or metallic oxides or non-metallic oxides, etc. Chemical properties. Chemical properties. Chemical properties of acids. Chemical properties. First one, reaction with the metals. Reaction with the metals. First one, reaction with the metals. Metals like sodium, potassium react vigorously with the acids, strong acids. So, acids generally taken in very dilute form. When they react, they liberate hydrogen gas. For example, sodium, if reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid, acid in the dilute condition are more reactive than in the concentrated one, giving, for example, sodium, a very active metal, reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid, giving sodium chloride, a sour, and hydrogen gas. Other metals like zinc, iron, lead can also liberate hydrogen from the acids. Here are a few exceptions. For example, zinc, aluminium are preferred to liberate hardened gas from dilute acid because the reaction is less vigorous. For liberation of hydrogen gas, generally dilute hydrochloric is preferred because if you use sulfuric acid, so instead if I use, for example, calcium or lead, and instead of hydrochloric acid, if I use sulfuric acid, H2SO4, so the product will be lead sulfate and hydrogen. Sulfates are basically insoluble. So after sometimes they will form a crust over the metal, and after sometimes the reaction stops. That is why sulfuric acid is not preferred to liberate hydrogen gas when we use the metals like lead. There are some sulfates which are soluble in water. So some, like for example, zinc sulfate can be used to liberate from hydrochloric acid. Example, sometimes the soluble, very soluble. So basically, sulfuric acid are not preferred because the sulfates so formed give a crust over the metal and provide a strong coating, tough coating over the metal, and after sometimes the reaction stops. So generally, hydrochloric acid is preferred for liberation of hydrogen gas from metals. So there is a problem with sulfuric acid as it is forming a sulfate which is giving a crust over the metals and reaction stops sometimes. So what about the nitric acid? So if we use nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. So if we use nitric acid instead of hydrogen gas, we will get water, because hydrogen so formed gets oxidized to form water. However, in the very dilute condition, magnesium reacts with nitric acid to give hydrogen gas and magnesium nitrate, MgNO3, it is 2. So however, when nitric acid is very dilute condition, almost less than 1%, can be used to liberate hydrogen. So I generalize that for liberation of hydrogen from acids, only hydrochloric acid can be used, because there are two inconveniences for liberation of hydrogen from nitric acids, as it is a good oxidizing agent. At the same time, it is a very strong acid. It can damage the metal, metallic container or any other container where the reactions are performed. For using sulfuric acid, metallic crust so formed can form over the metal, reacting metal, which stops the reaction after some time. So generally, hydrochloric acid, which is less volatile and more by and large, it is a mild acid, can be used to liberate hydrogen. So these are very important points. Second one, the reaction with the metallic carbonates and bicarbonates. When the acids react with metallic carbonates or bicarbonates, they liberate carbon dioxide gas. They liberate, for example, if I use sodium carbonate and hydrochloric acid, it will give you sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide gas. Sodium carbonate gives sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide gas. So, generally, hydrochloric acid can easily be used to liberate carbon dioxide gas, giving a brisk effervescence. Giving a very brisk effervescence. For example, for balancing, it is 2. So 2 moles of 2 molecules of hydrochloric acids. It will be H2H2 balanced, 2O and CO2 carbonates also balanced, and 2Na. So hydrochloric acid can be used to liberate carbon dioxide gas from carbonate, metallic carbonates. Carbon dioxide gas so formed gives a brisk effervescence. Similarly, if we use the metallic sulfate or sulfides, basically sulfides, they give carbon dioxide gas. Third one, metallic hydroxides and oxides, which are called bases, when reacts with acids, gives salt and water. For example, if I use sodium hydroxide is a strong base, and hydrochloric acid, they neutralize each other and give salt called sodium chloride and water. When acids react with bases, liberate water and hardening gases, water and salts are formed. This reaction is actually known as the neutralization reaction. So these are few examples regarding the properties of acids. Most important out of them are the reaction with the metals. Depending upon the activity of metals, that is, if we use the activity, in the activity series of metals, the position of potassium is the top. For activity of metals, potassium is at the top. But zinc, lead, which are less reactive, potassium, sodium, calcium, these are highly reactive metals, highly reactive, and these are less reactive. So, highly reactive metals react with acids vigorously for liberation of hydrogen gas, but zinc, lead, aluminium, they react less vigorously, and they are generally preferred. Today my second topic is uses of acids. Uses of acids. Uses of acids. Next, I am going to discuss about the uses of acids. Acids has a vast or wide range of uses. For example, mineral acids, which reacts with the bases to form very important salts like sulfates, phosphates, which are used as fertilizers. And weak acids that we use, basically the organic acids, they are the good food preservatives. There are 3 mineral acids. For example, sulfuric acid, it is called the king of all chemicals. Sulfuric acid called the king of chemicals because of its vast uses in the industry. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, king of chemicals. Similarly, at the same time, for cleaning purposes, we use for floor cleaner, etc., removing dirt from the clothes, dyes, etc., we use hydrochloric acid. And nitric acid is used basically as oxidizing agent. Weak acids like lactic acid, citric acid, formic acid, oxalic acids, they can be used as food preservatives. Basically, they are the organ acid. At the same time, acids have been used in the manufacture of paint, dyes, etc. Okay, thank you for the day.